evening, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight Fridays. Real lives, real people, with your host, Precious Jones. All right, everyone. This is Robin Lynn, and I just wanted to take a second to give a shout out of congratulations to Spotlight Fridays with Precious Jones, winner of the Best Station 2015 Global Spreaker Radio Award.
All right. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you, Ms. Robin
Precious.
Lynn. Thank you for having me.
Yes. All yours. I just had to cut in, and just do that. So do your thing, Precious.
All right. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. This is your host, Precious Jones, with Spotlight Fridays, Real Lives, Real People, brought to you by Robin Lynn Productions. Entrepreneurs step outside their comfort zone and create ways, develop plans, and make connections. A chief executive officer manages, directs, and is in charge of managing in non-profit or for-profit organizations. Stepping in or step dancing is when the participant's entire body is used as an instrument to produce complex rhythms and sounds through a mixture of footsteps, spoken words, and hand claps. Please welcome CEO, entrepreneur, and step choreographer, Mr. Adam Barnes. Mr. Barnes, how are you today?
Hey, how you doing, Precious? I'm doing well. Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Great. Thank you for joining us tonight for Spotlight Fridays. Happy to have you.
Absolutely.
Well, Mr. Barnes, born in Long Island, New York, and raised in Central Florida, how was your upbringing?
My upbringing was good.
Okay.
My family, my brothers and I, we were born in a pretty rough neighborhood. If you guys are familiar, or how many of your listeners are familiar with New York City, but we were actually born in a town called Roosevelt, which is in Nassau County, Long Island, which is a rougher neighborhood. But we were blessed that our parents, shortly after we were born, they graduated college. They kind of moved us out of those circumstances, and we moved to Florida. We moved to an okay, fairly middle class neighborhood, but it was definitely a lot safer, of a place, than where we were originally from. And I think that really kind of became our parents' efforts in trying to position us well, getting us on the right track and getting us around better schools and that sort of thing. But yeah, growing up, I had a good upbringing, really strong family knit and family oriented environment I grew up in. I grew up in the church as well, which was obviously always great. I was blessed that my parents put me in middle school in a Christian-based school so I could at least be fed some of the word, early on when I was young. Probably still too young to fully, completely understand it, the commitment to, being a Christian man, but young enough to plant the seed, And so we had a strong upbringing growing up, and a strong familial bond, which we still have today. Yeah.
And that is truly a blessing. That is truly a blessing to have parents that sacrifice and put forth the effort to be great parents and role models. That's a blessing.
Absolutely. I can't agree.
As a child, Adam, do you remember having any talents or any passions for something?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, as a child, I actually loved performing. I was, of course, your classic class clown in school, and I loved, clowning. I loved kind of lightening the mood of every class, every situation I possibly could. And I would have to say I was particularly good at it, and sometimes I kind of almost, I was almost kind of feeling myself like, wow, I'm a good class clown, because I seem to be a clown and balance being a clown, but actually doing pretty well in school and getting the teachers to actually like the fact that I was a clown. So
that's talent right there.
Hey, man, multifaceted. So no, but when I was young, I was pretty funny guy, pretty outgoing. When I was much younger, I was really into performing arts. I remember, always singing and being into poetry. And when I got to high school, I joined the acting club, and I started doing plays, and I got the opportunity to direct some small little plays that I had wrote in high school, which was a lot of fun. And that was pretty much the majority of my I guess talents, if you will, when I was younger, just personality, charisma, being really outgoing, and kind of starting to kind of identify a passion for performing arts.
Okay, thank you. Education is very important, and it is very important as part of being a successful person. At what school did you attend, and what was your area of study?
Well, I attended college at the University of Central Florida. I studied international languages and linguistics. So my studies, I focused my studies in Spanish language, Portuguese language, French, and Creole. And so those were the languages that I studied in school. And then after I graduated from college, I attended an acting school, actually, for a small period of time, Manley School of Acting at Central Florida, and where we primarily studied improvisational acting, and that was it. So that was the majority of my educational background.
Okay, what interests you to go in that area?
What interests me to go into that area?
The international studies,
absolutely, yeah. Well, actually, it's funny, when I was in probably elementary school, I actually we had a Spanish teacher that would come, and she would stay after school, and she would teach all of us Spanish, just basic things like how to count in colors and how to say good morning and bye and all this stuff. And when I got a little bit older, and started asking my parents about our family tree and learning more about, where we came from, I learned that my grandparents and great-grandparents on my father's side were from Cuba. And we thought that was really cool. My brothers and I, we had always considered each other just black or black American or Jamaican American, because my father was from Jamaica, and we really always wanted to represent that piece of our Caribbean heritage. But when we started to kind of dig a little bit deeper in our family tree, we started to learn about a little bit of Spanish heritage. I thought that was really cool. And so at that point, knowing that and being a young African-American brother, knowing he had some small piece of Spanish heritage, for some reason, I really wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. And I started really studying other languages. And I never, at the time, I didn't think it was going to be something that I pursued professionally. It was just something I did for fun. And, just because I loved other cultures. But I think that when I got to high school, I joined the Spanish Honor Society. I was involved in a few different other language clubs as well. And I kind of started to learn about myself and learn that languages was something that I really loved. I loved learning about other cultures, their history, their culture, their language. And so I just started studying other languages as well.
Okay. Well, did you join any social clubs or organizations while in college?
Absolutely. I pledged Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity when I was in college, which, as you all probably know, is an organization of the National Panhellenic Council, one of the primary 9 Black Greek organizations. So actually our Founders Day is actually coming up in a few weeks, so that's pretty exciting. I was also involved in the National Society of Black Engineers, which was one of the largest, most powerful student-run Black organizations at the collegiate level. And they also were kind of a fraternity as well, if you will. So those were kind of my 2 fraternities, if you will, when I was in college.
Okay, very outgoing, Mr. Adams, very outgoing. Mr. Adams, I know stepping is very unique, and you have over 15 years of step choreography experience. What was it about stepping that captured your attention?
Well, and as I'd mentioned before, when I was really young, I really loved performing arts, but I could never quite put my finger on what type of performing arts I was going to get involved in. I could sing a little bit when I was younger, but I wasn't a great singer. I could dance, of course, better than average, but I wasn't like a phenomenal ballroom dancer, and I hadn't had a whole lot of formal acting experience. But when I got to college, I started, of course, being exposed to Black Greek life. I started going to step shows. And when I would watch step shows, to me, that was like, it was such a beautiful art. It was such an amazing form of art and such an amazing form performing art. And it was just something that I saw as being my niche. You know, I observed it. I said, you know what, that's for me. That's my opportunity to be on stage. And so I got involved. I got involved in stepping. I mean, it was actually, to be very honest, and, you know, I know this sounds material, but it was one of the things that attracted me to pledging, probably more so than anything, going to step shows and seeing that.
It does.
Absolutely. You know, seeing you know, step shows and that part of Black culture and Greek culture, it was just, to me, it was a very special thing. And so having a little bit of a background in performing arts, you know, I took step really serious. I started really, you know, studying different styles of choreography and teaching myself and learning, obviously, from other fraternity brothers and pro fights. And, you know, I ended up assuming the role. I had to get voted in, but I assumed the role of stepmaster, which essentially at each particular chapter is the person who leads the step team. And so that's kind of how I segued into getting involved in step.
Okay. Stepping is very exciting. I love it. Very exciting. Adam, you created a revolutionary program which utilizes step as a means to artistically and academically develop students. You're the CEO of the National Step League and a founder of the Step in School Incorporated. Could you please provide details and history on the National Step League, Step in School Incorporated, such as when did it start and what led you to develop these programs?
Sure, absolutely. Well, you know, and as I pretty much clearly laid out in this, I mean, you guys could tell I love step, you know, and stepping was something that, you know, when I was in college, it was fun. It was an activity. It was, for us, stepping was community service. It was the heritage of our fraternity. You know, it was everything. You know, it meant a lot. And when I went into corporate America, of course, after college, I just had this burning desire in my heart, you know, to keep stepping. You know, I didn't really want to let go of it. You know, and I kind of followed that. You know, while I was working in corporate America, I would still volunteer. I would go back to my college a lot of times. I would work with different step teams and help them with choreography. I would go to different schools and volunteer and teach kids, and kids would really take to it. They would really love it a lot. And I realized that in teaching them step, you know, we were inspiring them to go to college and express themselves in ways that they never knew they could. And, you know, what ended up happening was I ended up deciding to move back to New York. I actually moved back to that same rough kind of neighborhood that my parents had took us out of. I decided to move back to that neighborhood to share a lot of my experiences through having learned how to step and through having gone through college with some of the students in some of those at-risk communities where I was from. And so I moved to New York, back to New York from Florida, and I started volunteering in different schools, teaching kids how to step and implementing a little bit more of an intricate curriculum with teaching step. So, you know, it wasn't just teaching step, but it was teaching step. It was teaching them how step connects to our history, how it connects to college, and then showing them how to apply to college. So this kind of grew into our youth program that we developed called Step in School, which is the program that you mentioned. And, you know, now we basically, you know, we're of course a more structured organization. It's not just myself going to these schools. We've been able to partner with the Board of Education and various community organizations and acquire funding to create job opportunities for other people who are like me, who love step and who love giving back to kids in different communities. And, yeah, we're in over 100 schools working with kids, teaching the art of step.
Okay. I'm going to applaud you because you gave back to your community. You went back home where you were born and you gave back. And that says, that speaks a lot of volume. So thank you. A lot of people need to give back.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You mentioned the program is affiliated with the Board of Education. You mean as far as you have a curriculum within the Board of Education that some of the students go by? Is the STEP program, is it like a course or?
Right. Absolutely. So what happens is when an organization operates as a service provider for a certain municipality's Department of Education, you typically have to create a curriculum, and you have your curriculum submitted to that state Department of Education for approval. What they then do is they approve it. You know, if the curriculum looks good, if the program looks like it's going to be a benefit to the schools in that community, usually the commissioner of the Department of Education in that particular state will put his stamp of approval on it, and that program can operate. Now, this isn't a mandated required thing, but this is a step that we went through to just add more value to our program and make sure that we were implementing our curriculum in a way that was going to be truly beneficial to these schools. And so that's kind of the how the curriculum kind of connects into each Board of Ed from state to state that we operate in. As far as implementing the curriculum, what we do is we have a certification program. So, as you probably know, you can't go to college and, let's say, get a degree in Greek letter style stepping. I mean, you can get degrees in different forms of education and different styles of urban arts and dance, but unique art forms and fitness models, things like cycling, Schwinn cycling, yoga, Bikram yoga, and now stepping, can offer certification programs for people who want to pursue jobs, pursuing those types of things. And so we decided to turn our curriculum into a certification program where, as we identify people who want to give back and work with students, we can train them and get them certified in our curriculum so they can teach STEP in a way that is recognized or recognizable by academia.
Okay, thank you for the information. I'm sure the listeners are tuning in. Step in School program. They are. Step in School program have been implemented in many schools, and what are some of the areas and locations?
Well, Step in School, we operate now as a staffing agency in New York City, all boroughs. We're in upstate, well, let me not say upstate New York, let me say Westchester County, which is the next county north of New York City. We operate in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, providing consulting services to existing STEP teams and STEP programs. And we operate also in North and Central Florida, providing staffing and community development in Greek letter style STEP. So we're kind of along the East Coast right now. We're operating in. I think you asked me earlier a little bit about our, and it's a question I didn't get to, but you asked me about our STEP league, our competition league, and so I just wanted to answer that question quickly, if I could.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have over the years in developing different STEP programs. We, of course, we wanted to do more for the students who are participating in STEP than just teach it, but we wanted to give them opportunities to showcase. And so we worked to develop an intricate scoring platform so that we can kind of take stepping and turn it into somewhat of a sports league. And so we created this program called Break the Stage, National Step League, which is essentially a sports league for students who are involved in competitive stepping. And what we're able to do is partner with different donors who reward us with grant monies that allow us to give away scholarships to students who are involved in competitive stepping through the National Step League program. So I just want to kind of drop that plug in there a little bit because I definitely want to do the National Step League justice. And if any listeners tuning in are working with STEP teams and you guys are interested in getting them involved in organized competitions, it's a beautiful platform and a great opportunity for them to compete and network and meet teams from all over the country.
Do you have the dates of your competition?
I do. Now, we do about 20 competitions a year, and I don't have all of the dates committed to memory right now for this call, but I will say that our first competition is our North Florida Championship. It's our 5th annual North Florida Championship that takes place every year in Jacksonville, Florida. In that show, we have a series of STEP teams that come from southern Georgia and, of course, North Florida, sometimes from Central Florida as well. And that's going to be on Saturday, January 30th. Our second competition is going to be our Brooklyn Championship. It's going to be our 5th annual Brooklyn Championship Step Show. That's going to be at Mott Hall Academy in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, Saturday, February 20th. Maybe I have the third date. The third date I have committed to memory is February 27th. That's going to be our South Florida Championship, which will be at Wellington High School, where, that's entirely open to teams from Dade County, Broward County, West Palm Beach as well. And then I think also February 27th, we have a step competition happening in Dallas, Texas as well. So, we do about 20 competitions, and we do them all throughout the country. So they're in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Florida, New Jersey, Texas. We're in Illinois. I recommend that you guys log on to nationalstepleague.org. And there's an area on there where you can actually see our entire calendar of events and register for whichever events are geographically feasible for you.
All right. I hope everyone wrote those dates down. Thank you. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Well, let's see. Things have changed for the break, so I'm just going to play a little song for us, and then we'll be right back.
All righty.
Looking down the pain, reflecting on yesterday, getting on the play, 'cause it feels like so good. So good, so good. I want you right now so you can show me what you do. I like what you do. I would feel alright if I could get more of you. I want more of you. Can I get a replay of last night? You and I doing what we like. Can I get it on replay? So good. 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 Good.
All right, that was just a teaser from Star Bright Entertainment artist Suzanne Christine with So Good. Take it away. I'm having a good time on the show today, you guys. Thank you.
I am too. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Welcome back to Spotlight Fridays. I'm here with Mr. Adam Barnes, CEO, entrepreneur, and can I call you Step Master?
That works out. Hey, all the titles, Yeah, man, I'll take it. Whatever you can give me.
All right. So we're here discussing the National Step League and the Step in School Incorporated. How many youth teams have you created for the Step in School Incorporated?
Well, with the Step in School program, I have actually, I don't know if I've actually numerically quantified how many STEP teams that we have created per se.
Okay.
But I know that over the past 6 years, we've serviced over 200 schools teaching STEP and developing STEP programs. I'd say probably about 30% of those schools that we've worked in have developed intricate STEP teams that have actually gotten involved in doing competitions. So, mathematically, I mean, I'd say maybe we're responsible for the development of maybe 50 to 70, 60 to 75 or so competitive STEP teams that have been developed over the past few years. So, probably about right.
Okay. So you have created the jobs for STEP instructors and dance choreographers. Could you tell me the qualifications that you look for in a STEP instructor or choreographer?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. We typically look for STEP instructors who have 2 to 4 years of STEP choreography or instructional experience. Depending upon where we are trying to place that instructor or the opportunity that we're trying to create, if they're going to be teaching daytime enrichment, in other words, utilizing our curriculum to teach STEP as an elective course, we'll typically want them to actually have an education certificate. So they'll have to have gone to school basically for education and have a certificate in education. And then from there, they go through our certification program and they become a step instructor for our program. That's not always a requirement. That's kind of a city to city type of thing. Certain cities will require certifications for step instructors, or any instructors for that matter, and others won't. But we look for 2 to 4 years of step instruction experience, or 2 to 4 years of youth enrichment experience, and the person having a background in some level of competitive stepping, either having been active on a step team, Greek and stepped, or just done miscellaneous choreography.
Okay. I would like to talk about the youth for a minute. I would like to know your program. How do you see your program impacting the lives of the youth that you work with?
Well, and not even to be braggadocious, but in a myriad of ways, And, and each community's needs are different. And really all we do, we go in and we do what we love, and we kind of watch the positive fruition of what happens, because what we do is going to impact each community in a way that's congruent to whatever its needs are. We've worked in some communities in Southern Bronx where we've had students who were involved in gangs, literally members of gangs. And it was because they just wanted a sense of belonging. They wanted to be a part of a brotherhood because maybe their brothers dogged them or their father stepped out on them. And so they didn't really have any male role models. In those communities, we've been able to develop step teams where we've gotten kids to leave the gangs that they were a part of, and they have joined the step team. And the step team became their gang, but not a negative gang, a positive gang, obviously, know? And through that, we've opened great doors for them and exposed them to performance opportunities and showcase opportunities. And so, that's one of the, a 180-degree turnaround, situation and testimony for a lot of students in our program. I'm sure you guys are familiar with, the reason why the federal government funds after-school programs is because from the hours of 3 to 6 p.m., that's when the majority of teen crimes take place. And from the hours of 3 to 6 p.m., those are the hours when students get out of school in ratio to when students' parents get home from work. And so that's when the most teenage pregnancy happens. That's when teenage drug abuse happens. That's when teenage violence happens, theft, robbery, teenage crimes. And so after-school programs are important because they keep kids out of trouble. They keep kids out of that statistic. Now, in order for after-school programs to be successful, particularly in at-risk communities, they have to have engaging programs. You don't just build an after-school center and then think everybody's going to show up. People only show up when there are good programs. And that's the piece that we've been really able to add to after-school enrichment, is that by God's good graces, because it's nothing attributed from us, this is entirely the Lord at his work. Our program has been able to really engage kids and draw kids to stay in school from 3 to 6 or 3 to 7 or whatever. And that's really the largest metric that we can contribute toward, keeping kids in school doing something positive as opposed to becoming another statistic.
Okay, great. I know some listeners probably want to know, I also want to know, what is the process to get youth involved in your program? Is it the after-school programs, or do you have a sign-up where youth can get involved, or is there a website?
Right. It's all of the above. It's all the above. Usually we usually partner with existing schools. So an existing school will come to us. They'll say, "Step in school. We don't have any fun programs or any dope programs at all at our school. We want you guys to come here and implement your step program or implement your drumming program to really help us turn up and get these kids engaged." What we will usually then do is go out to the school and we do what's called an assembly showcase. We bring a group of our instructors. They perform for the school. They get everybody hyped and excited about step. They kind of show them what the fruition of step can look like. And from there, students get excited. We pass around sign-up forms, and students sign up. That way we have tangible numbers to present to either our donors or to the school so that the principal can allocate funding for the program. In a lot of cases, the school recruits for us. Students already know, they already want to step. The school is just having difficulty finding instructors to staff their program. And in those in cases, they contact us, and we provide them with professional staffing to launch the program. And so sometimes we go in and we recruit, and sometimes the students already want it. The school just doesn't know where to go to find it. They come to us, and we help them create the program.
Okay. The youth, are they experienced steppers? And if not, do you have camp, like some type of step camp to get them involved?
We do. We offer a step boot camp service. We absolutely do, where we can go in and work with existing step teams to help take them to the next level and help intensify their choreography, teach them different types of drills, ways to begin to condition their bodies to become more experienced and stage-ready performers. You know, it's really a showmanship camp. A lot of times we go into certain schools teaching step, and we're working with students who've never stepped before. And, but we have a little mantra in our program. We say, if you can walk, you can step, and so, we teach it in a way to where it's very, very learnable. And, anybody, whether they're coming from 0 to 60 or 40 to 60, they're going to be able to learn in partnering with our program. But typically we are, the students in the schools that we work with, they're familiar with what stepping is. They've heard of it. They've seen it before. Okay. A lot of times some of the boys will think stepping is something that's girly because they'll think, oh, it's like cheerleading. But when we get in there, or even if we place a male instructor there, we usually have everybody's engagement, everybody's involvement, and we're able to really bring them from the ground up. Okay.
Well, Adam, you've worked as a consultant in various commercial projects, such as Steve Harvey's Neighborhood Awards, Night Step It Up on Broadway, producing movies such as Break the Stage. Can you please share some of your experiences working on the various projects, and how was some of the projects developed?
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. So, because we deal with so many step teams, we deal with so many choreographers, we deal with a lot of talent. We've got a tremendous, and all these people, all these kids and all these choreographers and all these instructors they're a part of our program. They're under our insurance, under our liability. And so we inadvertently, we are a talent management company. And, because of that, a lot of times when there are film projects or when there are music videos or when there are reality series and things like that want to incorporate dance, they reach out to us, so that we can help them develop their choreography, or help them, help staff some of their scripting and things like that. We've had some really awesome opportunities to partake in some great productions. Each year, Steve Harvey, you guys are probably familiar with his Neighborhood Awards showcase that he does. And, he either incorporates into the Neighborhood Awards something that pertains to step or drumline or something like that, which we usually work with him on. Or he does his Expo event, which is a series of community events and showcases where he provides community enrichment, parties, networking events, all kinds of fun stuff. And one of those things, of course, is a big step show. So we've got a great relationship with Steve Harvey Entertainment, and we work with him each year on that project, which is real exciting. We've done, it's fun stuff. It's a great show. It's a great weekend of events. We've done some film projects. We've done some music projects. We actually were just contacted by Columbia Records just about maybe 2 weeks ago. And one of their artists, whose name I won't mention, but one of the artists signed to Columbia Records. One of the producer wanted to incorporate step into the melody of the music. And, producers can very easily use beat machines to create sounds that sound like stepping. But, producers want to use organic, real live sounds. And so, we had a team of our choreographers actually choreograph a full step to be recorded and used in a song that's going to be released spring of next year. So we're very excited about that project, and we'll be announcing it probably on our website and then in the upcoming weeks. So we get involved in a lot of commercial work and stuff like that, from time to time, which these are all just blessings from God that come, in which we're kind of able to leverage our ability and our stand in the market, with step, to make some great things happen.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Miss Robin Lynn, can we take some callers?
Yes, there are some callers on the line. And if anyone wants to ask our guest a question, press *6 to get yourself in the queue, and then we will bring you right in the call. Okay? And I think I'm going to play a song and give a second for the people to tune in. To get in the queue, okay?
All right.
I lift your name on high. Lord, I long to see your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You came from heaven to earth to show the way, from the earth to the cross. I dare you pay, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I long to see your praises. Whoa, I'm so glad you're in my life. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm so glad you came to save me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Came from heaven to earth to show the way, from the earth to the cross. I did all you paid, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high.
All right. Let's give a shout out to TJ Tau Tua for his singing his praises, lifting the Lord on high. You are lighting the callers up, and so let's take the first caller. Caller, are you there? Do you have a question for our guest?
Yes, I am. Hi, Adam. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. So I'm calling from Daytona Beach, and I just have a question. So what inspires you to keep motivating the young people to be the best they can be? What inspires you?
Oh, what inspires me? My dad, when I was younger, I always used to hear my dad say, if only I knew now when I was your age, I would be so much better off, And when my dad used to say that, I realized, man, why doesn't he just tell me what he knows? You know what I mean? And so, I feel like I had such great parents. I had such a great upbringing, growing up. I mean, we had our ups and downs, but, I was blessed to have some great people around me. And I just feel like it's our responsibility as adults to really share our positive experiences, our negative experiences, our collegiate paths, our trials, our testimonies with the young people around us to help keep them on a good path. We can't keep things from them and expect them to just find the way on their own. So really that kind of has become my mantra, to share, as much as we can with our young people through our program. And that's really what motivates me. That's it. Just a love for community, a love for youth development. I don't know, man, it comes from purpose,
Well, definitely keep your call speeding on its way, and a big shout out and blue fire to you, my brother. I definitely appreciate you, all right?
All right, man, appreciate you too. Thank you so much, man. Really humbled that you called in and asked that question. Thank you so much.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, we've got another caller. Caller, are you there? Hello, caller, are you
Hi.
there? Go ahead.
Greetings. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm fine, blessed and highly favored.
Amen.
Excited to hear about your program. Very excited. I hear that you have a competition coming up in Jacksonville, and
Yes, ma'am.
I'm actually from Jacksonville, Florida, but I did not hear you speak about any programs already developed in the Florida area. I heard about New York. Anything down south for the students?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, specifically in Jacksonville, Florida, we work with probably 5 community-based organizations providing services to them. So I don't know how familiar you are with Jacksonville, but I'll name drop a few organizations, and awesome. I'll name drop a few schools. So we fully fund and sponsor the STEP program at Terry Parker High School.
Yes.
We also we sponsor and instruct the boot camp and STEP program at KIPP Impact Jacks, which is a charter school on the northern western side of Jacksonville.
Right.
We teach step at Highlands Elementary. We teach step at Parkwood Heights Elementary, which is in the Arlington part of Jacksonville. We partner with an organization called Community Connections Jacksonville, where we teach at Martin Luther King Elementary. We teach at Kirby Smith Middle School. So we've got youth programs running there. Jacksonville Heights Elementary, if I didn't already say that. And then we also work with a lot of drum lines as well in Jacksonville. In Jacksonville this year, we're getting a grant that's coming from the United States Army to give away scholarships to competitive drumline teams. And if you're familiar with Ribault and Rains and Terry Parker and all those schools in Jacksonville that have those really competitive drum lines, we're going to be doing a huge drumline competition in Jacksonville where we're going to give away scholarships to students, and it's just, we're going to have a blast. So we're actually doing a lot of exciting work in Jacksonville. So
awesome. Wow. And the analogy that I like to make between Rains and Ribault is almost equivalent to the HBCU experience between FAMU and Bethune-Cookman University. So awesome
Absolutely.
job. Another quick question for you. When we're talking about the male to female ratio, how many males and approximately how many females do you have in this program? I know you used the analogy about, some of the males got a perception that this may be a cheerleading type organization and they were kind of apprehensive about joining. But what is the approximate number do you have? More males?
Right. Yeah, it's about 40-60 male to female. So we do usually have more young ladies in our program, but it's really not far off from being half and half. And if you actually go to our website, stepinschool.org, on our website, it actually lists some of the different statistics and metrics about the students in our program, the graduation rates, and the childhood obesity prevention rates, and some of the not racial, but socioeconomic and gender statistics are also broken down on our website, which is stepinschool.org. But yeah, it's almost half and half. You will see that young ladies in most instances will gravitate to step a little bit more. But we teach the history of it as well, and when you learn the history of it and its African heritage and how it was used for storytelling and communication, it's by no means at all something that should be considered feminine. It's very communicative, it's very Afro-Indigenous, it's very masculine as well. It's but it's also very graceful and feminine. So we've got a good half and half split.
Very nice. I'm very excited to hear about what you're doing in the community, and just keep up the good work. I'm very blessed to have you on the show. Very nice.
Thank you. It was a blessing to speak with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You take care.
All right. Ciao.
Okay, that's all the callers that we have so far. If you want to call in and ask a question in these last few minutes, the number is 605-562-3140 and the PIN 554-747#. I've got a question for you, a couple of them actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
sure.
Do you are the events that you do with the youth? Do you have video? Do you guys video them?
We do. We will record video, and we encourage everybody in the audience to record video because we're very big with social media. We love posting videos. Okay. We love Vines. We love hashtagging. Okay. So we encourage everybody to record video, post video, and always tag Break the Stage, hashtag Break the Stage, hashtag National Step League, because we really believe in that social media platform to growing what we're doing in a positive way. We do also, we have our own production crew that does intricate video where we usually have like 3 or 4 camera angles. I think this year we purchased a drone camera this year, so we're going to have helicopter views of our step shows. One of the things that we really, really love getting high quality video of these events, and because we want to really showcase the art form in a brilliant way. Okay. So sometimes on our website, if you go to nationalstepleague.org, you'll see that certain times for certain events we do sell videos. But for the most part, we encourage people to come, take their own video, post video. You can go on YouTube and type Break the Stage, and you'll find probably hundreds of videos of our step show competitions. And so it's no secret.
Awesome. Robin Lynn's Productions. We are a cornucopia of education, entertainment, network, and support services. And
awesome.
And we specialize in helping people expand. And we use social media, but we also consist of several internet radio stations or shows or blogs. There's over 60 of them, and we have a newly launched TV station as well that's reaching the web, mobile devices, and smart TVs. And we also have the capabilities of doing paid events and pay-per-view. And I would really, really love to get connected with you all so that I can support you, number one, by airing your content on the TV station and promoting it out and just making it and giving these guys some even more exposure, experience, and promotion as well. And I think that would be...
Thank you so much.
I think that would be really, really great. It would help both the TV station go, but it would be like, these kids would have their own station that they can go and say, hey, look, I'm on TV. Watch this. You see?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, that is, let me tell you, that is literally like an answer to so many prayers, where we've been, because that's really been, one of the next levels that we wanted to go to. And it's just so supernatural to hear you, talk about how you guys offer those services. And I would love to absolutely talk with you about that and, see how we can synergize on that. I think that would be beautiful.
Awesome.
So thank you so much.
Awesome. I'm here to serve. And so, see, this is one of the reasons why Spotlight Fridays with Precious Jones has won this award, because she just does great, awesome, amazing things. But I truly believe that God is just doing what He wants to. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that then.
Hello. All right. Amen.
Yes. Now we have. Go
ahead, Ms. Robin.
I'm sorry, Precious. We have to do the question of the day.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Now,
question of the day.
Yes. Now, Adam, we're going to ask you the question of the day. And if you get it right, you will win something.
Okay, all right. I'm kind of nervous.
Okay. Yeah.
Precious asked me if I wanted to practice questions. I said, no, I got this. now I'm able to answer the practice question.
Yes. Okay. So, the question of the day is, what's cooler than cool?
Ice cold.
Yes!
All right.
He got it.
Now, again, I said that if you get the question right, you'll win.
You know what? I did not tell him.
Okay. Now we said that if you get the question right, that you would win something. The only thing is most people never get it right, so we ain't got nothing to give you. So we'll come up with something to get it to.
That is hilarious. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Are we done? Are we done here?
Yeah.
I'm mad that y'all come up with a question and y'all bank on people not getting it right.
Well, got him.
All in fun.
Yeah, I got y'all. Y'all owe me $5.
Okay. I got 5 on that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well,
you know what? Adam, are you currently seeking any additional community partners or self-instructors?
We absolutely always are. Seeking partnerships for us, it's an ongoing, arbitrary thing. It's never ending. So yeah, absolutely. So if you know of anybody who is still listening in, if anyone, and for you all to know as well, if you know anyone who's ever looking for a job, teaching step, or who's interested in youth enrichment or giving back, definitely send them our way. Because we love to meet good people who love to work with kids. As far as community partnerships, I mean, we're a non-for-profit organization, so we survive off of, we do bring in contracts, but we also, accept donations and funding and grants. Mm-hmm. And so, any community partners or people that are interested in joining our board of directors are more than welcome to join as well, because that funding helps keep us going as well. So.
Okay. Any Facebook, Instagram, or email address that you would like
Absolutely.
to, Okay.
Yes. You can actually Facebook us at Break the Stage Step League. You can like our fan page, which is Break the Stage National Step League. And you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at the Adam Barnes. That is at the Adam Barnes. And on my Instagram page, I can always connect you to our company's social media as well. So I'm at the Adam Barnes. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to get a plug in. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Do you have any final words? Anything that you would like to say and tell the listeners?
You know what? This is now that's a question that I would have liked to have been prepared for real. Because I'm a talker, so asking me if I have any final words, man, I could turn into a dissertation.
I know. Hey.
I guess I would say that life is not as deep as we make it to be. I believe that the answers are right on the surface. And, to any people listening in, who listened in because they wanted to maybe learn a little bit about my entrepreneurship, my experience, I would say that, that whatever's on your heart that you love or that you find yourself to be good at, or that burning desire that you just can't let go of, it's more than likely your purpose. That's more than likely what God is giving you to be your economic driving engine. And so use that as your means of earning a living and being economic, But that is about it. I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
I appreciate you for being a part of Spotlight Fridays. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure, and I'll come back anytime, man. Next time y'all doing this. And, I know you got to go through and interview some other people, but once you're tired of all those other folks, y'all want to bring me back.
Well, we got you. We will come back and find you.
And you're welcome to come back. Precious Jones is on every other Friday, and I'm usually on every Friday night and Saturday night at 9 with the Vibes Live chat room. And the same number. So you're always welcome to just come on back in, and we might even give you some discretion and stuff, and do some preemption and stuff like that. You never know. So
you never know.
Hey, man, that works for me. Thank you, ladies, so much. I really appreciate your time, and I guess feel free. Just please keep in touch with me and let me know how I can be of service to you moving forward with anything else. Okay?
Well, yeah, awesome to meet you. Okay, Precious, is that it?
That is it. Thank you, Adam. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. I appreciate you. Likewise. You guys take care.
Heaven's a word to show the way from the earth to the ground. My debt you pay from the earth to the cross, from the cross to Lord, I lift your name on high. 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 Yeah. You came from heaven to earth, you show all the way from the earth to the ground. My debt you pay to the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Oh yeah, Lord, I lift your name on high. Oh yes, I will. Lord, I lift your